Good evening, everyone. Today we are making an effort to start a new series called The Conqueror. This is a conversation wherein you get to hear the journey of entrepreneurs. I am Akshara Damble. I am a TEDx speaker and a celebrity psychologist, as well as harmony coach. I have founded Mano Samvada, and we have our special guest, Mr. Shinoy Thomas, who is a creative guy. As a branding consultant, he has worked with various organizations in establishing their credibility and has helped them grow faster. Let us listen to him first. Shinoy, good evening. Welcome
Hi, good
to
evening,
this
Akshara.
candid
Thanks for having
interview.
me.
So, tell us more about your journey into entrepreneurship.
Thank you. Entrepreneurship for me started at a very young age. I've surrounded by great businessmen. I've back in school when I used to see how businesses function. I was very curious to understand how this entire business world functions. So naturally, going on to take commerce in my higher education, figured out my BBA, and then went on to do my MBA, and then gotten very in my internships. I have worked closely with a lot of CEOs to understand what it takes to be a businessman. That always had me curious, and seeing how you can work together as a team, how you can build an economy. And my journey really started with my father being my inspiration, and equally, and the polar sides that you like to call it, my mother, who's a mother of three, running a full stock kitchen, right? It helped me understand that there are three children with three different tastes, right? Me, my brother, and my sister, and she would make us all happy before school, and that showed me how different departments of a company kind of worked. And that is probably my start to an entrepreneurship.
Brilliant, brilliant. And then, how did it evolve?
Right. So when I finished my higher education, and when I finished my MBA and things like that, you understand that there is a method to the madness. There is a science behind this entire functioning of teams, and I'm still learning. In the 10th year of in my entrepreneurship, I'm still learning how to balance it. How do you dedicate that kind of time? How do you work with people? Uh, it's evolved into a place where I got the good fortune of finding some amazing people on the way. My team is everything for me. My team has built the company from a dream to a vision so far. And in my last 10 years of experience, I have worked with around 300, 400 companies, and have had the good fortune having made, everlasting relationship with them, which who have kind of helped me take my life forward.
Brilliant. And as you went on getting into the journey of entrepreneurship, what were the challenges that you faced and also continue to face in the present time?
Right. So, very interesting question, Akshara. So, as we've heard in a lot of series, startup people talking about the good side of entrepreneurship, right? But it's equally, lately, it's equally important to address the challenges and the hardships that you had to face, right? Initially, it would be definitely we all look for a seed funding, right? How do you start a company? What do you have that money? Right, that is the challenge I do see a lot of youngsters even right now face. They have an idea, but how do you start? I was thankful enough to have very good support systems in place. The people I met on my journey who've kind of helped me through that challenge. One of the important challenges I faced and yet still continue to face is the ever changing behavior of people, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so people, that means including my team, including the clients. So when I started this in 2011, my customers were demanding a certain thing, right? Over the course of time, we say that the customers have changed. They've evolved in their own liking. So there is no other way but to keep yourself evolving. You have to adapt to the consumer's thought process. What are they thinking about? What do they want? How can you please them? So that is something that I'm still evolving. I'm 10 years into the game. I'm still evolving and learning that challenge. People has been my strong suit, if I would like to say. I'm a people's person. I love meeting new people. That's one of my strong points in terms of how I attract clients, how I attract talent to work with me in my organization. But however, it has also got its own challenging, right? Including mental health being a very important point about addressing how people function, right? Are people motivated by fear, Are people motivated by money? Are people motivated by a good place to work? Right? The
Right.
answer would be all of the above.
True, true, true.
Right?
Very
Yeah.
much. That's interesting. And can you, I mean, if there is no issue, then can you mention some of the clients that you have worked with?
Some of the clients that I've worked with.
Yes.
Right. So we've been fortunate to work with one of the best companies from initially in the starting itself. So Tata Group have really helped us thrive from day one. Yeah, we've worked on their consumer side from Tata Sons to Titan Ceramics. We have gone on to work on their NGO front. So Tata Trust being one of the largest NGOs in the country, we have worked on a lot of such social impact, sustainability projects, even from an early age. Today sustainability is a buzzword. Social impact is a word that people are really running after, but
Right.
you call us a pioneers, or we wanted to be in a place where we were adding value, right? So that is one of the greatest opportunities that's been given to us, and we continue to foster that relationship even in our 10th year into running of a company. This is one of the names that have really helped us grow.
Brilliant, brilliant. And say when it comes to these kind of big companies, they will have many such people who can contribute to their business.
Right.
What makes your enterprise so unique that they keep coming back to you?
Very, very good question, Akshara. So this is something that we are ourselves figuring out, right? So what we learned very young in our company is that we cannot call ourselves cool.
Can you say it again?
We cannot call ourselves cool, right?
Okay.
We need other people to call us cool.
Right.
So that's something that, so word of mouth really works, right? So what we wanted to say is that we spoke less about ourselves and we let our work speak for itself, right?
Okay.
So these big companies, and every big company in the world, they're ready to find new talent. There are much more capable people. There are always newer, a new kid on the block who's trying to prove their name. 10 years back, I'm sure we were much hungrier than today.
Okay.
Right? We were knocking on every door possible, sir, please give us a chance, please give us an opportunity. But let me tell you this to you, and to all our fans who's watching online us right now, is that once you get an opportunity, treat it for its value, right? That opportunity is what you get, and that is all you need at that moment. Now you put all your focus and energy into proving your worth, so that one opportunity turn into lakhs and lakhs of business years to come, and they've given us more opportunities. So what I would say is that the work would speak for itself, and what started as a small project is now evolved into a 10-year long relationship for us.
Brilliant. There I have one more question, in the sense, being a startup entrepreneur, being a young person, what are the challenges in reaching out to big companies? Because say for bigger people, bigger things appear big. Yes. So how do you look at that?
Amazing. So this is something that I don't have a definite answer, right? However, I have been asked this multiple number of times, who are you? Right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So I will
how do you establish credibility?
Correct. So credibility, right? So, what is my credibility? Who are you? So today I can say with multiple, with the confidence that in the 10 years that I have worked with 300, 400 brands. But 10 years back, I had not even worked with a single brand. And to make the first client believe in you. Right. So that's usually a charm, right? You're usually getting across with your charm, your kind of honesty, right? So I'm telling you this one for a fact that clients out there, big or small, they are very easy to catch up on bullshit. Right? In the marketing sector, in the business that I come from, people like to go on and on talking about things that does not exist. So an ill practice would be over promise and under deliver.
Right.
So we did exactly the opposite. We under promised and over delivered. Right? And being honest, right? So being honest really kind of helps through. You say that, sir, I don't have a fantastic portfolio behind me. Sir, I don't have the big brands with me. But you are that big brand that's going to give me the break. Right? If it's like a same question, like, when freshers are looking for a job, they say every job needs a 2-year minimum experience. So when will the freshers get to the market? So I see this question a lot happening when I go to campuses for hiring. for talented children, for the talented youth of this country, right? They will say, who is giving us a chance? And this is so relevant even right now at a time of pandemic. The fresh graduates that just graduated 2020 and 2021, they have come to a market where there are no jobs, right?
Yeah.
So this is exactly very parallel to the question about how we started. Like, what are the challenges that the big companies had to face? I mean, how did we get through to them? One is that we had to be very professional in our approach, right? We had to document ourselves, make sure that we are presenting, and if we get one meeting, show up early, right?
Okay.
Show up ready for the meeting.
Right.
That means they're going to ask you questions that you don't know answers to. Be humble enough to say you don't know.
Okay.
Right? Because
so honesty matters there.
Yes.
Honesty matters there.
Honesty matters 100%. It's the best policy. And, something I've picked up in my school times as well, having, gotten a lot of beatings on my hand from my teacher, saying honesty is the best policy. And, that's kind of really worked for us, I must say.
Brilliant. So, as you went on through this journey, say, I know you are a creative guy, and people definitely expect you to keep on creating new things.
Right.
Do you feel sometimes it is exhausting that how many new things that you can keep bringing onto the table?
100% Akshara. And, it's a common saying in our industry saying that nobody wants to read yesterday's newspaper.
Yes.
Right? It's used for packing peanuts, or it's used to pack bhajis on the roadside. So today's newspaper, but tomorrow's newspaper, it's $1 million. Nobody knows what's the news tomorrow. Everybody would love to know what's the headlines tomorrow. Right? So that's probably the difference between creativity. Right? So yesterday's creativity and tomorrow's creativity, you have to look at like the newspaper angle. Like that's really a best example I can put it. So just to answer your question, definitely, right? So one of our mentors, or one of the people I look up to in our industry, Piyush Pandey, who's been a chairperson for Ogilvy Group as well. He would say, recycle your ideas, right? So that means very early in my career, probably I was very young. I had the Josh, I had the creative mind. I gave a client a lot of ideas. He didn't take a single idea. Now, instead of being disheartened, what the mentor says, or his book quote saying that, write it down, bring it back 5 years later, and you probably would be surprised as to how relevant that idea still is 5 years later. Right? So now being creative is a subset of being effective. Right?
Okay.
So in our industry, people might think we are all about the photo shoots, we are all about the video shoots, we are all about creating the best looking poster, best looking graphics, animation, things like that. However, this is a myth, and it's taken me so many years that I educate my clients that we are not here to make the best looking poster. We are here to challenge, or we are here to address the problem that your marketing team is facing. Every marketing team in the country has only one problem. Where is the leads coming from? How many people are looking at me? Am I being perceived in the right manner? Right? If you address that, so all your creative plans. So we like to do something like a annual creative plan. Right? So that will be coinciding with the marketing plan that the brand has. Let's say this is what we're going to go do for Diwali in the coming year. This is what we're going to go for Christmas this year. So this is the season, right? We are in October, November, December. We are already planning. Our Christmas plan is already in pipeline. Was already closed last month.
Okay.
But
that's how.
Correct. Yeah. So we work in future always. That's why I said tomorrow's newspaper is what the value is for. Nobody wants yesterday's newspaper.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So as a reflection to your answer, so I'm just wondering how you create impact to the organizations. What is the impact that you create?
Right. So this is something that we get asked every 10 times a day.
Okay.
I talk to startup founders.
I'm not the first person to ask it.
You're not the first person to ask it. And I love this question. Right? This is the $1 million question. This is where I come in and tell you how we can help you. Right? So every entrepreneur, I would like to call them a dreamer. Right? Their core focus is to build their business. Right? So once they have that, so where we come into place is we are not here to experiment with you. We are professionals who come inside, look at what the problem is, attack it with focus, right? So there is a difference between a normal police force and a SWAT team.
Definitely.
Right? So let's say a police is there is for traffic control, but when you have a real big challenge that's going to affect you, you call in the army.
Right.
Right. So similarly, we would come into the entrepreneur's life and understand where his problems lie in his pipeline. Let's say, for example, he's a motor car company. Right. This entrepreneur is making a fantastic electric vehicle. Right. His job is to look at the engineering capability of that electric vehicle, how the design looks, how the battery is functioning, is the team going okay. Now, marketing this electric vehicle, making sure that the entire nation is going crazy for this electric vehicle is our job.
So, in a way, are you saying that you do a surgical strike into the company's marketing strategy?
Absolutely, absolutely. We do a surgical strike. We attack the problem front facing, right? There is no point running away from problems. Every business have problems, right? Instead of mulling over it, instead of taking a step back, what we need to have is professional people coming in with focus who can attack the problem front facing, right? This cannot happen without the help of the brand, definitely. So the brand gives us the goals. Okay, you know what? This is what you need to achieve. How to achieve creatively? That's our job, right? If I tell you the same thing, why don't you try SMS marketing?
Right, right.
You need to understand in this time and age, SMS marketing does not work. So your weapons have to be new, right?
Right, absolutely. So how do you help other entrepreneurs grow? Say, I understand you get into the marketing strategy or branding strategy, etc. So who are the entrepreneurs whom you can help to grow?
Right. So the best, the best kind of satisfying work, right? Even though we've got no opportunities to work with the bigger brands, the Tatas and the Birlas of the world. And, we've been very fortunate to have worked with the big names. Small and medium businesses, which is actually the root of our Indian economy, right? The MSMEs, the SMBs, right? Those are the guys who are really striving to put their, work out there, right? So those are the businesses I can definitely help, because me being a small and medium business myself, I can understand their pain points. Every rupee that's spent on marketing is something that they're taking out of their hard-earned money.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So that means they are not going to put for experimentation. They need to understand value. How can I solve this? How can I not? So when you ask me, how can I help entrepreneurs? Of course, it's a very lengthy answer. I'm trying to, summate it all into a smaller, brief format, is that while the business owners can focus on their core value, their core business, which is making an electric vehicle or, making their own business run, we take care of those things so that they don't have to worry about it. Right? So what is my customer base going to be? Who is my customer? Right? Usually people think that their customer, they know who their customer is. That's one of the biggest mistakes that businesses around the country is doing. I know who my customer is. Okay. Right? But professionals, if you ask around agencies around the country, is that you need to invest your time into user understanding. Who is your user? What is your user persona? How much is this user willing to pay?
Right.
These are research-based things, right? This is not a gut feeling. This is research-based. There are companies who are very well-versed doing pan-India research, industry-specific research. We attach that research to creative thinking. So now when I say design thinking has got pillars which are employed to attack problems directly.
Okay.
Right? That means I'm not making the best-looking design poster. I am saying, what should this user read on that poster? Okay. Right? For example, is it the headline copy? Right? We call in our industry H1, H2, H3. Headline 1, headline 2, headline 3. All will be in different sizes. I am directing your attention to where I want you to see.
Okay.
So when I put a hoarding, when I design a hoarding for a client, I know that when somebody is driving past the hoarding, they don't have time to read a 5-minute essay.
Correct. Yeah.
Your attention span is probably 3 seconds.
Yes.
I'm looking at who, and I'm done. I'm probably, I will get into an accident.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So which is why you see something attractive. A bold color would make you stand out on a crowded road.
True.
Right? So curvy font would be very difficult to read.
Yes.
When you go, so then you would use very thick, very legible font. So these are aspects that the business owner does not have to know.
Right.
He has to trust us saying that, okay, I want to put a hoarding, guys, get me a hoarding.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now we have had years of experience learning the right and the wrong. We have made mistakes. We have embraced and learned from our mistakes, right? That the hoarding would be this much. Now, when you get a Facebook, for an example, everybody is now going social media, right? Everybody wants to be on Clubhouse or Instagram and things like that. You are fighting against a scroll.
Right.
That's it. That's the
Yes.
value of your one creative.
Absolutely. And the attention span is so less, so that I'm sure your creativity should be so impactful that the person should stop for a few seconds to go through it.
Exactly. Now, let me add one more thing, right? You are touching a very painful point, right? Now, is it about impactful or is it about consistency? Now, it is not enough that I show my user once. No matter how much thought I have put in one creative, he's not going to register it.
Right.
In 2021, he's not going to register it.
Right. Right.
Now, he or she needs to be shown this creative 10 times.
In different ways.
In different ways.
Right.
Right. So the messaging needs to be said. So what I'm saying is, for example, now come buy this electric vehicle. Why should you buy the electric vehicle? What are the features of the electric vehicle? How much does it cost?
Right.
A lot of users view this ad in a different manner. He is like, okay, electric vehicle, theek hai. How much? Rokada kitna hai? How much is it?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So we make sure that we are working from an ad sets perspective.
So do you have to think from a business person's perspective, customer's perspective, and I think you should think from multiple dimensions.
Exactly. That's why it requires a team, right? Which is why I tell you my team is my everything. So the team that actually helps us put this entire thing together. So there are professional content writers, there are professional researchers, there are professional designers that put together, brainstorm, and then make the entire plan come to life.
So that is the hard work behind all the branding activity that goes in. I mean, for us, looking at a poster is maybe very easy. It may be a few seconds thing, but in order to make the person spend some seconds on this poster, you will spend hours together.
Correct. And do what? So what we would like to call it in our advertising lingo, we call it CTA. What CTA stands for is call to action.
Okay.
Once you see this creative, what should he do?
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
That's the point, right? So, so if you put a beautiful looking person, right, we see objectification at the best in our industry, right? It's some practice that I don't support. Right. I do not support putting a attractive looking person on a creative just to get attention.
Right.
If you had seen a car advertisement, typically you would see a very attractive person coming out of the car, which has no relevance to the car at all.
Right.
However, what we are trying to say is once you see the car's advertisement or this electric vehicle as an example, what should you do? What do you want? As a business, what do you want him to do? You want him to inquire about that vehicle.
Correct.
Because in our marketing pipeline, we understand that it is a IDA, awareness, interest, desire, and action.
Okay.
It is not like he will see your ad and buy the electric vehicle right there. That does not happen. Maybe if you are a 5 rupee chocolate, maybe they will buy it immediately. Okay, I saw the chocolate. Okay, buy.
Yeah.
However, if it is a certain amount of investment of money and time, they are not going to purchase you right away. So this entire pipeline is different to every single sector that you are in. The way you market milk is not how you market a vehicle. The way you market a vehicle is not how you market an insurance program. Right. So that's how we have category learning, right? So one thing we've been very fortunate to do is that we never work with only one type of companies. Usually you will see agencies who now work with a certain type of industries and they're good with it. Right. They will work with Hotel X and they will work with Hotel Y and they know everything to do with hospitality industry. Right. However, our thought process again comes back from a user. This one user is also going to a hotel, is also buying a car, is also buying groceries, he's also going to a hospital. So understand the user and then you get the entire category.
So one more question, how other people can contribute to your business?
Right. So now that I have explained what we do as a business, right? most of our time is spent in educating our customer, right? So how can other businesses, other people help me out is to by helping me educate our customers, right?
Okay.
In the 10 years I have been in business, I have understood that a lot of people have gotten their hands burnt with a wrong partner, and then they would come to me, right? If you talk to doctors, they will understand this very well, right? People will try to self-medicate themselves.
Yeah.
Then they will go to the pharmacy. Yeah, then they will go to the pharmacist and say, okay, I have a headache, please give me a headache medicine. Right. After self-medicating, after going to the pharmacist, then they will go to a doctor. By the time you have increased your symptoms, you have spent a lot more money, right? And now your condition is worst. Worsened. Right? So that is typically our situation, right? So what we would like to do is advise people not to take up this responsibility of marketing, right? What I just explained of understanding the user, understanding, hierarchy of communication is something that we have taken years to hone it. Our skill is honed over time, right? This is not something I learned 10 years back.
Absolutely.
I'm still learning, right? This is something that I'm still learning. So where other businesses can help is identify fellow entrepreneurs who are actually going through this struggle. Somebody, what to look for is if you hear an entrepreneur doing marketing while his effort should be doing his business, that's definitely a good place to refer me, right? Saying that, you have somebody who's going to come in and take care of your worries where you can concentrate on your business, right?
You have put it very precisely and very crisp and clear. Beautiful. So when, I know you are doing a lot of things and you have worked with so many interesting people. Now, in case if somebody wants to meet you, where can they meet you?
Fantastic. In this, in this pandemic time, we are all online, right? So definitely you can meet me through my good friend Akshara here. He will direct you to me, right? LinkedIn is always a very good platform for me, right? We are active as a business. We are active as an individual. You can find me. And one of the most interesting and new developments in my life is we are associated with this network called BNI, Business Networking International, right? And that is a permanent address for me right now where you can meet me every Wednesday in the morning, 7:30 we log in. And business people like me, my fellow Akshara, we get together and we help businesses grow.
Super. Very nice speaking to you, Shinoy. And before we conclude, any closing comments from you?
Now, Akshara, what you're doing is a fantastic thing, right? I have personally been witness to the magic you can do for people, right? And that's something that I want to, put an advice out in the world, right? That organizations need to start looking at mental health in a larger manner, right? Organizations need to take care of their employees, right? So this is something, if you see my background, right? The sharing of energy between individuals is what causes a business to kind of thrive. Right. So if you take care of your employees, they will take care of you.
Correct.
So, businesses like me that I told you repeatedly that my team is the reason why I succeed. Right. Absolutely. And people like Akshara are helping. I mean, you are doing such a good job with, organizations. And that's something that I would put as a closing line. And business will come and go, but relationship will stay for a lifetime. So invest in relationships and it will see you through. Thank you for the opportunity, Akshara.
Wonderful speaking to you, and hats off to your journey and wishing you many more success. And I'm definitely looking forward to working with you and create new possibilities in the future. Thank you so much for joining for this candid conversation, and it was lovely speaking to you.
Fantastic.
So, so powerful you are. See you.
Bye. Bye.